And here to discuss her thoughts on these awards is our own
Rachel Zeeegler.
It's a fun movie. That actress is so smug, and this movie's gonna flop.
White male rage. Rachel Zeeegler has been a menace to Hollywood society. Her entitled and repulsive attitude towards products of the studio that she was working for, representing, towards the fans, towards people, and just in general, has gotten everybody to converge and form a temporary alliance in their absolute despise of what she represents.
White male rage.
Rachel Zeeegler, the new woke race swap Snow White, has been in the news a lot lately, but not in the way that Disney wants. These are just things that people are digging up and realizing that this was the exact wrong person to cast to play Snow White, not just for the obvious reasons, but also because she fucking hates the character. And very quickly, Rachel Zeeegler, in the words of some people, is becoming Disney's new Brie Larson.
And it's white male rage.
So the new Snow White is going to be an abomination.
White male rage.
But now we actually have some verbiage from the lady who is Rachel Zeeegler, who is playing Snow White. And so Rachel Zeeegler is, of course, diverse. She's a person of diverse background because she's Hispanic. As I've said before, Snow White is a story about a woman whose skin is as white as snow.
Because of white male rage.
Well, I noticed that now she is saying some things about what Snow White is going to be about. So Kathleen Kennedy, the entire crew over at Disney headquarters have decided that never again will they do a traditional fairy tale, because traditional fairy tales are very often about boys being heroes and girls falling in love with boys. And that can't be. That can't be at all. No more of this. Every main character will now be a female, and every main character will be an empowered female hero who's a kick-ass lady. And so this is what Rachel Zeeegler says.
It's so sad.
That this is the case, and that no matter how many times you try to re-engineer the children, it's going to fail. It'll fail not because they won't listen. They will, but then they will be failures because they will have listened to bad advice.
And it's white male rage. White male rage.
Rachel, though, not that bright. Of course I'll tell you how we're changing the character and destroying the original. Let me lay it all out for you. What could possibly go wrong?
White male rage.
So the only reason why she is receiving backlash is because she is outspoken, according to her. That is the victim narrative that she is putting out there. So because she decided to give her opinions, that is the only reason why. It is because she is bold about her opinions and she is outspoken. That is why she received backlash. The reason why she is facing so much backlash is because her opinions are stupid. Because her opinions are absolutely ridiculous. They are baseless. They are false. They are insane.
White male rage.
Zeeegler is the quintessential Gen Z movie star. She just started her career, but comes off entitled, holier than thou, and contradictory. I know that kind of describes most of Hollywood, but everyone has their own brand of that description. She's turned into a walking, talking oof machine, a conveyor belt of cringe, if you will. There is definitely a bit of recency bias, but I'm hard-pressed to think of anyone else who's done as much damage to not just their own career, but a film they are starring in with just words other than Rachel Zeeegler.
White male rage.
Rachel Zeeegler, the actress who drew the ire of most of the internet with several interview answers, the new actress in the new woke Snow White remake, which gets rid of the dwarves because reasons, has now struck out against men everywhere. This is classic Rachel Zeeegler.
White male rage.
Now, one thing about Rachel Zeeegler that I think a lot of people are very much, aware about right now is the fact that at the end of the day, we know that she said some very dumb comments months ago that went viral, that was actually done a couple of years ago, actually.
White male rage.
In my opinion, Rachel Zeeegler should have never, ever been cast as Snow White. And on top of that, it feels like she doesn't even want to do the movie. It feels like they're forcing her to make the movie. I truly haven't seen anyone this unlikable in so long. I cannot remember the last time someone was this fucking annoying, this fucking pretentious. She seems like the most annoying person on planet Earth, and I'd rather eat dirt at 3 a.m. than to ever engage with this woman in real life.
Because of white male rage.
No offense, Rachel, but you're making it pretty tough for people to like you. Now, I don't pretend to know what exactly was going on in her head when she said stuff like this. Maybe she was just a bit nervous and overwhelmed by all the attention and didn't know how to respond with the kind of slick, blandly diplomatic answers that a more experienced celebrity might have given. Maybe it's because she's young and idealistic and just blurted out the first thing that came into her head about the movie and the character. And so I don't really want to dump on her too much for all this controversy. Yeah, she's definitely creating the impression of a spoiled, entitled, narcissistic actor who totally doesn't appreciate the amazing opportunity she's been given. Yeah, her comments on the actors' strike were pretty poorly judged for someone getting paid more from one movie than most actors make in their entire lives. And yeah, the things she's saying about Snow White make it seem like the very antithesis of the animated classic that stood the test of time a lot better than her own movie's likely to. But really, when you get right down to it, she's just another dumb actor saying what she thinks people want to hear.
It's white male rage.